the year that he traded and went to the Rams, and it just so happened to be that the year he went to the Rams, they won the Super Bowl. I mean, bro, the Guardian shit is crazy. I know it's safety wise, but goddamn, that shit sucks. What's going on YouTube chat? Say what's up to YouTube say what's up to chat. Today we're gonna be doing another reaction. Today reacting to the truth behind the Super Bowl logo the NFL is hiding from us fans. And a big reason why I wanted to react to this is because I've been like super into this like the logo, and I said like months ago, because I play Madden, I didn't say like online, and I said to my dad, but I was like, it's gonna be Chiefs Eagles Super Bowl because of the colors, because I play Madden, and I got to the Super Bowl and like franchise type shit, and I saw a logo, I was like, okay, it's gonna be Eagles Chiefs, duh, and it just, the closer it got, it just made more sense. But regardless, we gotta react to it because I am curious about it. But one time I did look into it, and a lot of logos aren't exactly the same, but so we'll watch the video to really see. Let's do this. And I got some fire games we're gonna play. I'm excited for that. Let's just lock in. The truth's behind. You know what I'm saying? Let's do this.
There might be some compelling coincidences that
oh my god, yes.
Ignored.
Have you heard about the Super Bowl logo conspiracy?
No.
Yes.
Oh yes, I did.
Those type of podcasts feel like they're so scripted themselves.
Internet detectives picked up on a fascinating trend. That is, the colors of the Super Bowl logo for that year foreshadowed which two teams would play in the big game.
Starting year.
With Super Bowl 56 between the Los Angeles Rams and Cincinnati Bengals in the 2021 season. As you can see, the logo for Super Bowl 56 featured dark orange colors and just a little bit of yellow. Well, obviously, orange is the main color of the Bengals jerseys. Yellow and blue are the Rams' two main colors. While the Matthew Stafford-led Rams were one of the main Super Bowl favorites heading into the
not to mention that, yeah, I think he's talking about right now, that year's the year that he traded and went to the Rams, and it just so happened to be that the year he went to the Rams, they won the Super Bowl. I mean, I know that like if you really think about it, it's like hard to script stuff like that, like sports, to like, I mean, the thing they can do and what everybody's saying they're doing is the what do you call it? The refs like penalties, or saying a score didn't count, or you know what I'm saying, stuff like that, like penalties wise, giving penalties when they're not actually penalties, or not calling penalties when there definitely is penalties, and these are causing the other teams being able to win. But like, there's no way for them to tell like what the score of every end of every game is, you know, like that. But maybe they can. I really think that they have this down to like way everything goes down. They want, because the NFL is like that. They're like Disney with that shit, where it's like they want everything to go a certain way. You know what I'm saying?
Season. Nobody in their wildest imaginations thought that
did I fuck this up? No, I didn't.
Their pre-Super Bowl odds were plus 15,000. Tied with the New York Jets for second lowest behind the Houston Texans and Detroit Lions.
Whoa, what did I miss there? What did I miss there?
Was coming off a season. While the Matthew Stafford-led Rams were one of the main Super Bowl favorites heading into the 2021 season, nobody in their wildest imaginations thought that Cincinnati had a chance. Their pre-Super Bowl odds were plus 15,000. Tied with the New York Jets for second lowest behind the Houston Texans.
I do kind of agree with this, but kind of don't at the same time, because it was Joe Burrow's, I think the year before that was Joe Burrow's rookie year, and you know, it takes a quarterback a couple years to get going. And but also it's like they could have had really bad odds because of how bad they played the year prior. You know what I'm saying? Because he was still getting going. And then this year he had like a takeoff year and was able to almost, you know, make it to the Super Bowl year.
And Detroit Lions. Joe Burrow was coming off a season-ending knee injury that derailed his rookie year, not to mention Cincy was coming off a fifth-straight losing season. Well, the Bengals just managed to stun the entire NFL by winning the AFC North with a 10-7 record, highlighted by a statement Week 17 home win over Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Bengals took down the Las Vegas Raiders in wildcard weekend to secure their first playoff berth since 1990. Burrow and company then stunned the top-seeded Tennessee Titans in the divisional round to punch their ticket.
Look at that thing. Look, can we get it?
Since
I
1990,
love footballs, the way, especially NFL, because the way they look, you just want to grab and throw that bitch. Like, oh, it looks so. Like, I don't know how to
Burrow and
explain
company
it.
then stunned the top-seeded Tennessee Titans in the divisional round to punch their ticket to the AFC Championship game. The Bengals' Cinderella run was supposed to end at the hands of the mighty Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium, but the Bengals erased a 21-3 deficit and went on to win in overtime.
That's what I'm saying.
Hours
It's
later,
like
the Rams held off the NFC West rival San Francisco 49ers in the NFC Championship game to set up a date with the Bengals, thus kick-starting the enticing Super Bowl logo conspiracy theory. 1 year after the Tampa Bay Buccaneers became the first team to play in and win a Super Bowl inside their own stadium, the Rams followed that exact same script. The Rams won 23-20 inside their home venue of SoFi Stadium to win their first Super Bowl in 22 years. Super Bowl 57, Kansas City Chiefs versus Philadelphia Eagles. After two disappointing playoff exits, the Chiefs and
can we
Eagles were two
just?
football's busy
I mean, as much as people want to deny it, I mean, can we see like what is happening? I mean, there could be a coincidence that it continues to happen where it just happens to be that. I mean, unless they're like, what's the chances that they make the Super Bowl logo colors, whatever they think are going to be the like top two teams next season? It just happens to be that they were right about what two top teams will be the next season, and the logo's made like way before. But maybe not. I don't know. It could be anything. Let's continue to watch.
Philadelphia Eagles. After two disappointing playoff exits, the Chiefs and Eagles were two of football's busiest teams in the 2022 offseason. In a stunning blockbuster move, the Chiefs decided not to pay Tyreek Hill and sent the All-Pro wideout to the Miami Dolphins.
He looks good with that.
GM Brett Veach spent that money to bring in more impact players, signing veteran safety
I don't know why, but that dude
wideouts Juju Smith-Schuster.
That dude looks like he just got punched in the face or something. Not Tyreek Hill, but that guy that they got after. They said his name, but I don't remember.
To put the cherry on top of the wide receiver facelift, he used a second-round pick on Western Michigan receiver Sky Moore. The Eagles, put simply, had a dream offseason for the ages. They signed sack specialist Hassan Reddick and all-pro cornerback James Bradbury to bolster their defense, and managed to pull off blockbuster trades for Tennessee Titans superstar wideout A.J. Brown and New Orleans Saints defensive back C.J. Gardner-Johnson. On top of all that, GM Howie Roseman grabbed Georgia defensive tackle Jordan Davis with the number 13 pick in the draft. Now the Eagles were locked and loaded for a Super Bowl run. Sure enough, the Eagles and Chiefs both finished as the top seeds in their respective conferences to secure first-round buys.
Oh, what a coincidence. What a coincidence.
The quarterback-deprived San Francisco 49ers, who had to use Christian McCaffrey at QB in the NFC Championship game.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that was a bad time for them.
The Jacksonville Jaguars team in the divisional round, then got some oh-so-sweet revenge by defeating Joe Burrow's Bengals in the AFC Championship game on Harrison Butker's last-second game-winning field goal. So, the first ever Eagles versus Chiefs Super Bowl showdown had been set. Oh, but wait, what were the colors of the Super Bowl 57 logo, you ask? Oh, you know, just the usual, the shade of the Eagles' dark green and the Chiefs' main red colors. You ever hear that old saying, once is a chance, twice is a coincidence, three times is a pattern? Well, if it's true, then we're in coincidence territory here. Anyhow, the Chiefs went on to win the Super Bowl 38-35 on the last-second Butker field goal. This otherwise thrilling game and all-time classic was largely overshadowed by a very controversial defensive holding call on James Bradbury while defending Juju Smith-Schuster. That penalty allowed KC to kill the clock so Butker could play hero, leaving the Eagles with only a few seconds to attempt a miracle that went unanswered. And yes, that questionable penalty only fueled the theory that the game was scripted or rigged in some aspect for Kansas City. And even aside from that, it was just a really lame way for this game to end. Okay, so the Super Bowl logo conspiracy theory has held up 2 years in a row. Now, what happened the following year? Kansas City Chiefs versus San Francisco 49ers. Oh man, death, taxes, and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. The 2023 squad actually finished 11-6, marking their worst regular season record with Patrick Mahomes as their starter.
I miss football.
Kansas City's offense was out of sync all year.
Can't wait for football to come back.
It certainly felt like their bid to complete the first Super Bowl repeat in 19 years would fall well short, especially after finishing as the AFC's number 3 seed. Oh, did we mention the Super Bowl 58 logo was mostly purple colors with just a little bit of red? So obviously, time was up for Kansas City. This was the Baltimore Ravens year, damn it. The Chiefs got past the Miami Dolphins and Buffalo Bills to set up a date with the top-seeded Ravens, led by MVP Lamar Jackson. So now it was time for Baltimore to honor the Super Bowl logo conspiracy theory on the AFC side, with purple being one of their main colors. colors and all that. But no, the Ravens committed far too many self-inflicted mistakes and dropped a 17-10 decision to the Chiefs in a defensive slugfest.
Yeah, the Ravens
Mahomes
always
and the KC
mess up.
offense didn't play their best, but they did
They can't
just
really do
enough
well.
to reach the Super Bowl for the 4th time in 5 years. But cry not, conspiracy theorists. The 49ers finished as the conference's top seed and snuck past the Green Bay Packers and Detroit Lions on the
Fuck the
NFC side of the
Packers.
bracket to set up
Fuck
a
them
Super Bowl
cheeseheads, bitch.
rematch of the Chiefs at
Sorry, I
Allegiant
had to get it
Stadium
out.
in Las
I
Vegas,
just had
Nevada.
to.
And with the shades of red and the Super Bowl 58 logo, the 49ers kept the conspiracy theory half alive. You can look at it that way, but some folks like to point out that the red in the logo symbolizes both the Chiefs and the 49ers. Or if you really
Could
want to
be.
stretch it, and some people certainly have, you can point out that Taylor Swift wore purple on her Speak Now album that was released in 2010. Anyway, the Chiefs defeated the 49ers 25-22 in overtime. With Mahomes throwing
way
a
to-
walk-off
anyway.
touchdown to McCole Hardman.
Oh gosh, it's
With
funny.
that, their dynasty was cemented, with KC winning a second straight Super Bowl in their 3rd in 5 years. So how about we go ahead and deem the logo theory for Super Bowl 58 half true. But with the
Yeah, we
trend
don't really
and
know about
Russian
that
football
one.
in
That's a
Super
little
Bowl
iffy.
59
It's a little
set aside
iffy
the
one.
New Orleans Saints home venue, the Caesars Superdome, Super Bowl 59, Kansas City Chiefs versus Philadelphia Eagles. The Super Bowl 59 logo features a nice mix of red, purple, green, and yellow. So if you go by the color scheme alone, we suppose more than a dozen teams were eligible for the logo conspiracy theory here.
Yeah,
Let's
like-
see, we got the Chiefs, Eagles, Ravens, 49ers.
At the beginning of the season, I was thinking with the logo before the season even started, I was thinking Seahawks, but then as the season was coming to an end, and you thought, you know, it was getting like to the end, you're like, okay, Seahawks are sucking dicks. Then I was like, yeah, it's probably gonna be the Eagles, because it was kind of like the Eagles Seahawks. What other green team? I don't know. I think that's like the only couple few.
Rams, Seattle Seahawks, Minnesota Vikings, Green Bay Packers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and
I guess
New
green
York
for the
Jets.
Packers,
That's just a
yeah, and
handful of the
Jets
teams whose
too.
colors were featured in the Super Bowl 59 logo. The Eagles were the number 2 seed in the NFC and danced through the Packers, Rams, and Washington Commanders to win their 3rd conference title in 8 seasons. The Chiefs, just whatever, more the same. They got the AFC's first round bye and made relatively easy work of
They made
Houston
it to the
Texans in
Super
divisional
Bowl by barely winning every game the whole season.
round before handing Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills yet another devastating playoff loss. KC held on for a 32-29 victory in the AFC Championship game to reach a 3rd straight Super Bowl, as well as their 5th in 6 years. But here is where the conspiracy theorists and believers of the Super Bowl logo thing get another boost. The Eagles and Chiefs both benefited tremendously from terrible officiating on Conference Championship weekend. Could it be that Roger Goodell and his refs were really in on the fix to make sure it was a Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl? Which would maybe add a bit more confirmation to that logo theory? Also worth noting that the Commanders were penalized 9 times in the NFC Championship game. Philly, on the other hand, only 4 times. And in
Wow,
the
that's
fourth quarter,
kinda
head
crazy,
officials
though.
who truly got tired of
Yeah,
the Commanders
but-
committing back-to-back-to-back encroachment penalties that he ended up making a sort of fishy announcement to the fans, stating that Washington has been advised that he can award Philly an automatic touchdown if that behavior continues.
Yeah, that was crazy. I remember that shit.
If this type of behavior happens again.
There were several
Yeah, that was
questionable calls
crazy.
that
I
went against the
remember
Bills
that.
in their AFC Championship game loss to the Chiefs, too. Perhaps the most suspicious call by the officials came with 13 minutes left in the game and Buffalo up by 1 point. Josh Allen
Yeah, bro.
tried to
That's
sneak
first
for a
down,
first
man.
down on 4th and inches
That's
in
a first
KC
down, man.
territory to keep the drive going. Officials initially stated that he was short of the first down marker, and a subsequent review upheld that ruling. Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, and Gene Steratore all stated on the CBS broadcast that they thought Allen got that first down. Here,
So
have
did
you
I,
the side
brother.
angle and decide for yourself. The Chiefs got the ball back and scored a touchdown on a Patrick Mahomes run. They wouldn't trail again, with Butker's late field goal and a Bills turnover on downs icing the game for Andy Reid and company. And once more, just throwing it out there, the Bills colors aren't featured in the Super Bowl 59 logo. Hey, just saying. So, conclusion. Eagles and Chiefs upheld the Super Bowl 59 logo.
Bro, the
conspiracy
Guardian
theory
shit
for
is
the
crazy.
third time in 4
I know it's safety
years.
wise, but goddamn, that shit's ugly.
Our
I
third-
think it would look better, the Guardian helmet, if or the Guardian cap, whatever the fuck they call that shit. If you didn't put your that shit that looks like your team color, like, you know, in practice how players will just have the thing on without the cover on, I guess you want to call it. If they just had it in whatever the color of their helmet normally was that, you know what I'm saying? Was the color of that part. I don't know how to explain it without showing it, but It would look better than them wearing that weird, like the covers with those off.
Third and a half time in 4 years, however you want to look at it. I'm sorry, NFL, but your Super Bowl logos and choices of colors aren't putting an end to the conspiracy theories about the league being fixed and rigged. A little piece of advice, if you want the madness to end, you best go back to your primary use of bright-colored logos that were used back in the 2010s.
I'm an idiot, cat.
So is there legitimacy to this whole thing? Well, perhaps nothing concrete, but, well, at that same time, you can't ignore the fact that, yeah, so far, there has been a fairly consistent pattern. But of course, it is a fairly small sample size, so I guess we'll just have to keep our eyes peeled to the future. But hey, do you believe in the Super Bowl logo conspiracy theory, or is it all just a coincidence? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then hey, click in the like button.
I'm not gonna do that. But hey, I did subscribe though, and I probably will like it just to, because why not like? There's no reason not to. Okay, listen. My thing about the being scripted, not like there's no really way to actually tell. Like there's no like, I mean, that's the most you have on proof that it's scripted. But there's no way to like, I feel like prove that in any way. That like, look, here's proof that you guys are faking this, you know? But it's like, I don't know. But like stuff, there's certain things without the game, like you can't script how far he throws the ball. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, as much as you could say don't tackle him, or make sure to run this way, they're gonna make sure not to tackle you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it may be. But it's like, I feel like that's really hard to do, or like to predict, like to be able. But like, they're not saying it's scripted like that per se, but like, definitely can give penalties or not give penalties to help a certain team win. Which that's what really seems like it's been happening. But regardless, I guess we'll never know. Or maybe we will. Who knows?